On January 1, 2024, a federal law called the Corporate Transparency Act took effect, that almost all companies in the United States must file a report with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network of the U.S. Treasury that indicates information about the company and its beneficial owners. The deadline for filing the report is December 31, 2024, for those companies that were formed before 2024. Companies that were formed in 2024 have to file their FinCEN report no later than 90 days after the company's formed. Now, if a company is late filing its report, then it can be fined $500 a day for each day the report is late, and potentially people involved can be charged with a crime and imprisoned up to 2 years. So the FinCEN beneficial owner report is not something to fool around with. Your company almost always needs to file. It needs to file before the deadline, so it's not going to be fined. Now, our company, FinCEN Filer, makes it very easy for people to file their FinCEN report. So what we do is somebody hires us to prepare their FinCEN report. We send an email to the contact person at the company that gives that person a URL and a login and a password. They can log into our FinCEN system, and then our system will ask them questions like, what's the name of your company? What's its address? What's its employer ID number? Does it have a trade name or a DBA? And then we ask questions about the owner. We asked, what's the owner's name? What's the owner's residence address? What's the owner's birth date? What's the driver's license or passport number of the owner? And then the company has to upload a picture of the passport or a picture of the driver's license, depending on which is used for the number information. So once all the owners have been entered into the system, then our service is going to file that report with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network of the U.S. Treasury, and then we'll send a copy to you of the filed report. So it's very simple, very easy. Go to fincenfiler.com/buy report. You can purchase a report to file your FinCEN report. There are exemptions from the Corporate Transparency Act, and we have them listed on our website. The exemptions are pretty restrictive. For example, if you're a public company, you don't have to file. If you're an insurance company or an accounting company, you don't have to file. If you have 20 employees or more and you make it over $5 million a previous year, you don't have to file. Some companies are exempt, but the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network estimates that over 32 million companies need to file a report before the end of this year. And that's not counting the companies that are formed this year. So if you want to see if you're exempt, and by the way, our system will question you. It'll ask you questions that determine if you're exempt or not. Everybody who files a FinCEN report needs to be aware of is that in order to file, you have to certify that all the information that's being entered is true and correct. If you file a false FinCEN report, then there are criminal penalties that can attach to the person who filed that false report. So we make it very clear to our clients that if they're got a multiple owner company and they're going to be filing information about other owners, our system lets the person who's entering the company's data send an email to each other owner asking that owner to enter their own information. So if Homer Simpson's your partner, you don't have to rely on Homer sending you an email that has the answers to the questions that need to be filed with FinCEN. Because what if Homer misrepresents the information in that email? Then you're going to be filing false information. So with our system, what you can do, instead of getting the information from Homer and then you entering it, you can send Homer an email and ask Homer to enter his own information. So if Homer wants to lie on the information that he enters, that's Homer's problem, then he can be criminally charged. But it's not your problem because you didn't enter it. Take care if you got a multi-owner company to make sure that the information that you entered is correct. If you're doing all the data entry, or otherwise use our system and have it send an email to each other owner and get that person to enter their information themselves.